by Aston University Ahlul Bayt Society. This event is our final one of the term, and therefore we do have some exciting stuff on the agenda today. We will start our program with a recitation from the Holy Quran, followed by a short talk by Sister Yvonne Ridley. We will then break for prayers, and at 7 p.m. inshallah we will resume the program with a short talk by Sister Masterton, followed by an open panel of questions and then refreshments. Please ensure that you keep your tickets safe, as you will need them to get your refreshments. Being the last event of the term, we have just had recently our elections, so I will be announcing the next president and vice president for the following year. For now, let's begin our event for today with the recitation of a few verses of the Holy Quran by Brother Muntazir Jibraj.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام وما اختلف الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءهم العلم بغيا بينهم ومن يكفر بآيات الله فإن الله سريع الحساب فإن حاجوك فقل أسلمت وجهي لله ومن اتبعني وقل للذين أوتوا الكتاب والعميين أأسلمتم فإن أسلموا فقد اهتدوا وإن تولوا فإنما عليك البلاغ والله بصير بالعباد. I begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. There is no God but He, that is the witness of God, His angels and those who endued with knowledge, standing firm on justice. There is no God but He, the exalted in power, the wise. The religion before God in Islam is Islam, nor did the people of the book descend there, from except through envy of each other, after knowledge had come to them. But if any deny the signs of God, God is swift in calling to account. So if they dispute with you, say, I have submitted my whole self to God, and say to those who follow me, and say to the people of the book and to those who are unlearned, do you also submit yourselves? If they do, they are in the right guidance. But if they turn back, your duty is to convey the message, and in God's sight are His servants. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim.
Thank you very much, Brother Muntazir, for the very nice recitation. Next on the agenda is a short talk by Sister Yvonne Ridley. Sister Yvonne Ridley is an award-winning British journalist who was captured by the Taliban while she was in Afghanistan, after which she converted to the religion of Islam. She is currently working for the Press TV, so without further ado, I would like to call upon Sister Yvonne Ridley.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Brothers, sisters, friends, assalamu alaikum. I was asked to talk about my journey to Islam, and it has been the subject of much speculation over this last decade, because if you were to pick a candidate to embrace Islam from my circle of friends 10 years ago, I would probably have been right at the end of the queue. And it wasn't that I was a bad person. It's just Islam was something that I really knew very, very little about, and unfortunately a lot of the prejudices that people hold today about Islam, I held those same prejudices. Every time I would see a veiled Muslim woman or a Muslim woman wearing a headscarf, I would think, look at that poor oppressed creature. How did she get out of the house today? She must have broken free from her chains. Now when I see a Muslim woman, I not only see my sister, but I wonder, you know, just what she is doing, what job she has, what role she has, what great qualifications she has. I no longer see a one-dimensional figure. I see a person of many different qualities, and in fact we all know that women are the backbone of the Ummah. We are half the Ummah, and we gave birth to the other half. So, you know, I certainly see something quite different. But I did hold prejudices, and this came to a head for sure when I went into Afghanistan shortly after the events of 9/11 as an undercover journalist, and had the misfortune to be arrested by the Taliban. All I knew about the Taliban, I was the chief reporter of the Sunday Express, a well-known, tolerant, middle-of-the-road newspaper, and all I knew about the Taliban was that they were an evil, brutal regime. They hated women, and they were signed up to this dreadful religion which brutalized and oppressed women. So when I was captured, I really didn't think that I would see the sunset that night. And for the next 10 days, my prejudices came to the fore, and every single thing, every act they did towards me, I misinterpreted as something that was part of this evil, brutal regime. They wanted to know who I was. They wanted to get all the information they could because they were convinced that I was a spy. They didn't believe that I was a journalist. And so there were some pretty intensive but non-violent interrogations that went on for hours and hours and hours. And I noticed that they didn't look me in the face. They didn't have any eye contact. And this, for me, was a sure sign that they were going to kill me, that they had made up their mind that they were going to execute me. And the reason that they couldn't look me in the eye was because they were so guilty about what they were going to do to me. Of course, I discovered later that this was their way of showing respect to me, and so when they were asking questions through translator, they were looking at the ceiling, they were looking at the floor, anywhere but my face. The other thing that I certainly didn't understand, and neither did the West, by the way, was the Pashtun culture, the way that they treat their guests. And I went on hunger strike, and you would have thought that the most evil, brutal regime in the world couldn't care less if I wasn't going to eat their food. But it really upset them, and despite my refusal of food, every morning, noon and night, they would come into my room, they would put out a cloth, they would put out fresh bread, some rice and some stew, and they would say, we want you to be happy, we want you to eat, you are a guest of ours. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with these people? Why aren't they doing all the things that evil, brutal regimes do? And by the 6th day, I had adopted probably a risky stance, and I'd become the prisoner from hell. I spat at them, I threw things at them, I refused to cooperate with them. I just wanted my ordeal to end, and so I thought by this aggressive behaviour they'll either shoot me, thus putting me out of my misery, or they'll send me back. And on the 6th day, instead of being interrogated by a group of really scary looking men with great big black beards and even bigger turbans,